Hi, hello. Welcome back to the OncoBuddy podcast, your go to source for cancer care. I'm your host, Miss Gayatri from 4 Base Care. As you know, in each episode, we delve into different aspects of the cancer journey. I invite you to join me on the fifth episode of our podcast. Subscribe to the OncoBuddy podcast and let's walk this path together. And today, we have another interesting and special episode focusing on varieties of topics like mushrooms and their miracles in cancer diet, milk consumption and breast cancer, and all we need to know about vitamin C in cancer. Joining us is Sharmila, Senior Onco-Dietitian at 4 Base Care. Welcome to the podcast, Dietitian Sharmila.
Thank you so much, Miss Gayatri. It's a pleasure to be here.
Starting off the podcast with a special ingredient mushroom. I like mushrooms so much. So, Sharmila, can you tell me how does mushroom help in the cancer? And to be clear, which type of mushroom has special benefits?
Mushrooms indeed play a role in fighting cancer. Apart from mushrooms, onions, berries, and green vegetables also offer cancer fighting properties. Speaking on mushrooms, most studies demonstrate the inverse relationship with white button mushroom consumption and breast cancer risk. Mushrooms have anti-angiogenic effects. They don't let new blood vessels grow. They don't let cancers grow. One of the mechanisms via which mushrooms protect against cancer is that its powerful anti-angiogenic property. It is also an aromatase inhibitor. In other words, it prevents estrogen from being produced by the body, and it keeps your estrogen levels low and particularly protects the breast against estrogen stimulation. So a lot of things in mushrooms protect you. In another study, the intake of mushrooms has also been found to reduce one type of negative regulation of immune function. By this mechanism, white button mushroom intake is thought to improve our immune function to fight cancer. A study from City of Hope demonstrates white button mushroom powder in patients with recurrent prostate cancer, which indicated that mushrooms reduced levels of prostate specific antigen, means PSA level in the blood, with minimal side effects. Basically, heightened blood levels of PSA in men may indicate the existence of prostate tumors. This study says consuming white button mushrooms reduces these levels. So, white button mushrooms are healthy options for cancer patients, especially breast and prostate cancer patients.
Well, then, I'll continue eating mushrooms the way I'm used to. Dear listeners, you can consume mushrooms too, which will help you in your cancer journey by boosting your immune power against the cancer cells. Okay, Sharmila, we know that there are supplements suggested for patients that is during their treatment, especially vitamin C. So, can you tell us about vitamin C and the patient's health?
When you look at vitamin C, high dose of vitamin C, which is kind of the flagship of natural, holistic and integrated treatment strategies, vitamin C actually has major disruptive metabolic effects in cancer cells, where it actually disrupts how cancer cells make energy, where it does not do the same to healthy cells. In a recent study, it has been shown that vitamin C plays a pivotal role in controlling gene transcription via its action on transcription factors and epigenetic modifying enzymes. When a comparison was conducted between individuals who received vitamin C supplements and those who did not, it was shown that those who received vitamin C supplements had a 15% greater survival rate. New findings support the notion that high dose consumption of vitamin C is associated with a decreased risk of oral cavity, stomach, esophagus, pancreas, cervix, breast, and rectum cancers, and also cancers with non-hormonal origins. However, determining the exact contribution of vitamin C to clinical results is challenging because patients are usually receiving several therapeutic regimens at the same time. High-dose vitamin C has the definite potential to provide beneficial and cost-effective anti-cancer treatment options that should be investigated further. Ascorbic acid, that is vitamin C, may become a significant treatment option in the fight against cancer due to its widespread availability in nature, minimal toxicity, and low cost.
Thank you for the prompt answer to the question. I believe our listeners will benefit from this information. Moving on, There is this doubt about consumption of milk among the breast cancer patients. Can you shed some light on how and why milk is not good and how much consumption of milk is good?
Dairy is a good source of calcium which is important for building bones and teeth, along with helping to maintain a bone density, and a good source of protein which helps to build or repair muscle. Dairy foods also contain essential vitamins and minerals such as potassium and phosphorus. In a study, cow's milk consumption of more than 3 glasses per day was associated with greater fetal weight gain in the third trimester of pregnancy. And worldwide studies confirmed an increase in fetal growth and birth weight in relation to milk consumption during pregnancy, and compared to women who had a normal birth weight of 2.5 to 4 kg, women who weighed more than 4 kg at birth had a 20% increased risk of premenopausal breast cancer. Birth weight is positively associated with breast cancer risk among both postmenopausal and premenopausal women. There are many discussions still going on about this. There is no good consistent evidence that milk and dairy products can cause breast cancer. Some studies have found that dairy might increase the risk of breast cancer, whereas others have found it may decrease breast cancer risk. We need more high quality studies to understand whether there is a link. The studies which prove milk causes cancer is because only of the calorie from milk. So to conclude, I can tell, as guidelines prescribe, a daily intake of 250 to 300 ml of cow's milk or fat-free milk or low-fat milk as core elements of a healthy diet, and it is safe for breast cancer survivors too.
So, milk can be healthy when it's taken in moderate amounts. And now that we are clear about the milk consumption for breast cancer survivors, before we wrap up, let's address a question from one of our listeners. Remember, if you have a question you'd like answered on the podcast, feel free to reach out to us on the OncoBuddy app. So, the question which was most frequently asked by cancer patients is pressure cooking really unhealthy? And if yes, how does it affect the patients who are undergoing the treatment?
Let me address the so-called advantages of pressure cooking that are addressed usually. It reduces cooking times, locks the flavor, energy efficient, and seals the nutrients that are thought to lock nutrients within food. But the disadvantage itself is it seals all the nutrients that are supposed to be released when cooked. Healthy eating is not just about choosing the right foods, but how you cook them also plays a role. Starchy foods may form acrylamide, a harmful chemical when pressure cooked. Consumption of this chemical on a regular basis may lead to health issues like cancer, infertility, and neurological disorders. Plus, most pressure cookers are made of aluminium that may leach into your food when the cooker is overheated. Exposure to high levels of aluminium has been linked to neurotoxicity, means damage to the brain or peripheral nervous system. Because pressure cooking is an enclosed form of cooking, there is no contact with air. Therefore, few of the nutritionists also argue that the ingredients may remain uncooked from within, which can hamper your digestion on being consumed. I can tell slow cooking is a better cooking technique as it not only retains the nutrients but also makes the food easily digestible. Generally, slow cooking is a food preparation method that relies on using low heat for a long amount of time. This method of cooking helps maintain both the flavor and nutrients of the food. With slow cooking, the food also becomes incredibly tender as all of its connective tissues break down. This makes digestion easier.
So, as we all know, slow and steady wins the race. In diet also, slow cooking is better than fast cooking. Thank you, Sharmila, for always being so prompt and clear with your answers. Yet another insightful talk with you.
Thank you so much for having me, Miss Gayatri. It's been really a pleasure.
And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to the OncoBuddy podcast. Be sure to subscribe for more informative episodes. To stay more connected with dietitian Sharmila, download the app from Google Play Store. In OncoBuddy, we have different sections for patients. We have OncoHub to get answers to all your questions and concerns from the clinical experts. OncoPHR is your personal health record manager, that is, to manage your medical records digitally very easily. OncoConsult for virtual consultation with treating oncologist dietitian, and psychologists. Do download our app to explore more. Until next time, take care and stay healthy. Together we beat cancer.